Hello, this is the home care or resident care home resident here. I just want to say my stories about bullying and prisoner cell block H and all the rest of them, yeah, are only 1.1%, not even a percentage of the NHS. I think we've got the Britain's NHS system. We work all our lives, or some of our lives. I worked from the age I left school up until I became ill, which was back in 2006, end of 2005, 2006. I left school, and so nearly 30 years of my life I worked and paid into the national health system. So people work 80, 90 years, you know what I mean, and they don't even retire. They have 2 or 3 jobs all their life and paid into the national health service. So people like myself and other sick people, or people who have car accidents and diabetes and mental health problems and dementia and everything they do, cancer, everything. The National Health Service is the best in the world, because you can go and knock on the door and say help, and they will help you. And 99.999% recurring, you'll have a nurse or a doctor. Well, nurses do better, you have people there who will look after you and treat you, and will make you better. And it's when I talk about the stories, I'm talking about a 1% of 1% of 1%. The other 99.9999% of the NHS of Great Britain is the best in the world. I've had good things and bad things. I'm just bringing up the bad things at the moment because I can remember them, because that's how it affected my mental health. But there's good stories out there all over the place. So please don't take anything I said that I am blaming NHS for anything. They have treated me many a time when I've allowed them to do so, because it's me who got me this way, and it's my mental health which kept me shut in and didn't contact any NHS doctors or my hometown doctors for many years. And it's only because my doctors literally came and knocked the door and opened the door and came in that I was able to get help. Without my doctors, or it was a nurse, I got help, because she, not only she was a nurse who was concerned, she contacted, my family. She knew my, she was friends of my sister-in-law's sister, if you know what I mean, through family, through my sister-in-law, sister's friend. It was the nurse, and not, basically without saying anything, because they're not allowed to say anything, contacted my family as well through, through other means. So not only she got doctors and nurses to come out to see me, she got my family to come out and see me. So to say I'm got to help myself first, yes. But if I don't help myself, they're there for people who don't help themselves as well. Because I was a shut-in for 20... I shut myself away through being scared and anxiety, depression. I shut myself away from society. I wouldn't go out. I didn't go out. I gave myself agoraphobia. You know, agoraphobia, to anybody who's got that disease, is, you know, people who don't have it and can just open a door, open a set of curtains and look outside, you don't know what you're missing. I mean, I used to go out, I loved my garden, I loved it. But now, now I barricade myself in a room with the curtains shut. I've got a slight crack in my curtain, and I still have, that's only because I can't reach to pull the other side of the curtain. Because if I look outside, it extends my room, because I'm high up and I can see far. So, just looking out the window, it makes my anxiety flare up. So when I mention, bad things what happened to me, it's because that's all I've got lately, is bad things. Because people, you go to, put it this way, if you go to a restaurant and have a meal, you go back to that restaurant all the time. Oh, come to so-and-so, it's always good there. I even, the manager's excellent, because he treats us, gives us the nod when we go in, and he says your normal table's ready. We've got a table. They've got a name on our table. You go to a restaurant and have one bad meal. You tell 10 people. But if you go to your normal restaurant every day, you don't tell them about your meal every day. You don't ring up your parents and go, oh, the meal that we have, Or you don't go to your mates at, down the pub and go, I had a meal again last night. And they go off. But when you've had a bad meal, you tell 10 people. Don't go to so-and-so. It's gone downhill. It's changed hands. The old joke, Peter Kay joke is true. You have a good meal somewhere, you tell one person. But if you have a bad one, you tell 10. So my experience, I've had plenty of good experience, but I can't remember them. Because you go in, you get treated, you come home again. And we take that for granted too much. So I'm not moaning at the NHS. I'm moaning at the 1% of the 1% of the 1%. It's like 99.999% perfect. So please, don't think any doctors, nurses, carers assistants, receptionists, to me, you're all under the same banner. The cleaner is even the most important. Because if you go into a dirty hospital room or care room and it's dirty, at the start, you're not going to like it. So, everybody's under this banner. I don't discriminate the NHS, because the NHS has kept me alive. I've put myself in this position and they've helping me. So I'm not saying they've done it to me. I'm saying I've got myself into this position. My health, mental health and physical health, is my own fault. It's from my own being. My dad used to say, we put ourselves into situations we want to be in. And it's true. I put myself into a position where I wanted to be in because I was, scared of going out, scared of people looking at me. But I did not help myself. I didn't, I tried to help myself, but my comfort to make me happy was food. I turned to food, but then it was a vicious cycle. So, you turn to food, you get happy, you get sad because you've eaten, and the only way to cheer you up is eat. Or the same. My agoraphobia started because I lived basically underneath. I was in a masonette, and there was someone above me, the flat above me, wasn't very nice. And the people who came round to see him, used to laugh and joke and say, the minute you leave your flat, we're going to break in. So stop leaving the flat. Everything got delivered. You know, even, you know, food and post and, you know, not post always gets delivered, but you know what I mean. Everything, you can get everything delivered. You don't have to work, you know, you can ring anywhere or, you know, press a button and you get everything delivered. You don't have to leave your house, and that's what happened. And over the years, like I say, I was a shut-in from about, well, 2000. I started and stopped going out a couple of years after I finished work. The first couple of years, I was able to get out and still about, and you know, and I had people, you know, and then slowly I could stop going out. All my friends, you know, I pushed all my friends away. I pushed my family away. So there's only one person to blame, and that's myself. You know, the NHS, and I ain't blaming the NHS, I'm just putting out stories. And the stories you remember are the bad ones. Yeah. But I don't want to put a Debbie down on anybody. You know, please don't watch these things. To be fair, I'm the only reason why I'm talking to a camera is because I've got no one else to talk to. You know what I mean? I push everybody away. So I'm just talking into a camera because, you know what I mean? That's the only place I can talk to. And there's someone looking at me, and that's myself. So please, you know, hashtag NHS. That's, you know what I mean? They're the greatest in the world. You know, I wouldn't say we're the greatest healthcare in the world, but it's a free healthcare. Nevertheless, you know, people have to pay thousands of pounds for healthcare in other places. If you want to go private, it's hundreds of pounds a month or whatever. I don't know. I can't afford a private. I can't even afford private healthcare. You know what I mean? This is funded by the local government. I just pay, well, the money what gets given to me by the local government as well, I pay. The rest of that goes on where I am. So don't get me wrong, I'm not moaning about NHS. It was the 1% of the 1%, you know what I mean? It's the 0.0000% that, you know, I'm moaning at. So please, if you don't like my things, scroll on by. That's all you need to do. I'm just here shooting the breeze, talking to myself, and if I can help one person or even one comment, yeah, that will make my day. I'm just trying, what I'm trying to promote is for people, yeah, need to ring their family members, yeah, or friends. That's all. Pop round for a cup of tea and a chat, because a cup of tea and a chat can save lives. So anyway, drink tea, it makes you happy.